All right, hi guys. So right now we're going to be talking about parabolas. We're still graphing parabolas, but today we're only going to discuss how to write a quadratic in vertex form. Okay, so we're going to be talking about changing from standard form to vertex form. Okay, so this is, remember we've talked about this. This is what our standard form of our quadratic would look like, where we have the A, B, and C. But we're going to be changing to vertex form. You need to definitely write down this form. So y equals A times x minus h squared plus k. Our vertex is always going to be hk. And so we'll talk about that in just a moment, but this is very important for you to write down. So I'm going to give an example. So let's say they gave you y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay, you're actually going to, I showed you in the last video how you could just find the vertex by looking at your b term and then plugging in whatever you found for your x for the vertex and plugging it in to solve for y. But I'm going to show you another method of completing the square to solve for this. Remember, we practiced completing the square on our homework last week. So let's do that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to rewrite your equation and you're going to group your x squared and your x terms. So this is all you're going to do. You're going to put a parenthesis around your x squared and your 2x. You're going to just put a parenthesis there. That means you're putting that in a group. And then outside the group, you're going to keep your minus 3, right? Okay, now what you're going to do on the inside here is you're going to complete the square. So remember, we did this last week. You're going to take your b term, and you're going to say, okay, well, over here we know b over 2 squared is what you're going to do here. So we're going to take 2 divided by 2, and then we're going to square that. So we get 2 divided by 2 is 1 squared, and so we know that equals 1. So over here we're going to say x squared plus 2x plus 1. That was inside of our parentheses. All we did was we completed the square here to get plus 1. And outside the parentheses, we still have negative 3. But whatever we put here, we need to remove it. So we have to make sure that if you added it here, you also have to subtract it here in order to cancel it. So now we're going to put this, remember when we completed the square, we have to put this in this form. We need to put a parenthesis squared, right? So remember, to do that, we have to take x, so we need x squared, and then we're going to take our b term, which is again 2, and we're going to divide it by 2. This time we're not squaring it, and we're going to get 1. So now we have x plus 1 squared. And then out here, we're going to solve this. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Now, this is excellent because you have it in vertex form. So now if we look at that vertex form,